Good evening everybody, and a warm welcome back to the JN Sports Complex here in New Delhi. The floodlights are on. We've got the gold medal match tonight for the women's pairs, with England taking on Malaysia here on rink 1, on green 1, and a great deal of expectation about this clash, which is the culmination of a lot of matches in recent days, and two very strong teams fighting it out for the gold medal here. The loser, of course, to get the silver. Earlier on, we had some tremendous games en route to this final. The temperature is 29 degrees Celsius now here in New Delhi. The humidity is 38%. Negligible wind speed. We've had a pretty blustery day all told here. A far windier day than we've had earlier in the tournament, but it's a calm evening, and the players are out on the rink already. They've been having a few trial bowl-ups, and here it is, England versus Malaysia. England looking to improve on 2 bronze medals so far. They've got the bronze in the men's triples and in the women's triples as well. Malaysia traditionally very strong in lawn bowls. They have some of the very best lawn bowlers in the world. So this is the scene here at the JN Sports Complex, and this is the route to the final. England beat Australia in a very tight battle indeed on rink 7 earlier on. Malaysia defeated Wales. England were qualifiers from the semi-final playoffs. They had to play a playoff to get into the semi-final, so they've done well. They've fought their way through. Malaysia having a straightforward run straight into the semi-final from the sectional phase, and now facing England here after that victory over Wales in 2 sets. So a lot of anticipation, and the England team, the lead is Faulkner, the skip Amy Monkhouse. They recorded a really nail-biting success just, an hour and a half or so ago against Australia. And now they crack at gold medal glory here in India. Their opponents, their strong opponents, it's Malaysia. Is the team, the skip is Hashimah, HJ, and the lead-off will be Zuraini, Khalid, and they're very good players indeed. So quite a prospect here. I'm Simon Holt. With me in the commentary box again is Mike Rabbit. What about this prospect tonight, Mike?
Both these teams, Simon, and good evening to you, have really done very, very well to get into this particular gold medal match. England specifically coming through the semi-final playoff where Malaysia semi-finals, and then they had a very, very good winner and a straight sets win, and quite comfortably 11-4, 9-3. So England, in actual fact, did extremely well. It was a really tense semi-final, and Australia had the last bowl to be able to knock England out. But here they are, they're playing for the gold medal.
And both of the English players have won medals in the past at the Commonwealth Games. Both the players, Faulkner won a gold in the 4s at Manchester. Amy Monkhouse a bronze on Commonwealth Games debut in Manchester as well in the pairs. We'll be looking to step up on those achievements here tonight against a strong Malaysian team.
And we have rolled the jack in readiness for play, and it will be Zuraini, Khalid, who will get us underway, and no worries in determining red disc, blue disc or any other. Malaysia are playing with the orange bowls, and England are playing with the red bowls. So you'll be easily able to determine tonight who is holding shot as the teams, and there is a wonderful for Zuraini, Khalid, right on the jack with the very first bowl. Faulkner is the lead for England.
Faulkner from Wisbech, originally lives in Ely. She's a marketing coordinator and a highly experienced bowls player.
We have occasions that the leads play such an important part, and Ellen competed in the singles in Melbourne right throughout the night, and this is the first bowl by Khalid, which was right on the money. You'll see these leads pepper the jack all night, and it's such an important part of this gold medal match, the leads.
So Ellen Faulkner's second delivery. Good line. Could pick up the jack.
Yeah, she's probably just travelled a little bit too far through, but an excellent delivery. That'll give her a lot of confidence. 2 sets, and then if it's tied at a set all, we will go into the tie break. Yeah, good line, but she's left that one way short, so maybe it's a bit of a nervous start for Ellen Faulkner. Left those couple very, very short indeed, where each bowl is at the head except for that first one, and that was a toucher anyway. So first little mini break, if you like, to Malaysia. Now the skips for the first time in the gold medal match, women's pairs.
The skip for Malaysia is Hashimah HJ Ismail. Made her international debut in 1995. She's 39 years old, from the Selangor region of Malaysia. Very experienced bowler.
Well, they have the 2 best backwoods. They're holding shot at the moment, but it's a wide open head. It's a little bit of a nervous start for all players. England, as you mentioned, Simon, this is their 3rd match today. Wonder whether that could be a telling factor later in the match.
Well, they've played through the heat of the day. It'll be a relief now. Temperatures much easier to cope with. A bit quiet on the inset front as well tonight, which is a blessing for whatever reason. Amy Monkhouse from Grimsby.
Yeah, good bowl there, just past the jack. Those little tees you see there, the centre tee where the foot is, that indicates the 2 metres from the back of the jack in the centre of the rink. And the other tees, if the jack goes out of play, they can be respotted, and that's 1.5 metres from that foot, if you like, where the tee is. Oh, just squirted through there, just got the wick. She'll have one more.
Ismail made her Commonwealth Games debut at Kuala Lumpur in 1998, won bronze in the 4s. It has also competed at Manchester and Melbourne 4 years ago.
Same as your last game. You're spot on.
So Ellen Faulkner shouting out the instructions to Amy Monkhouse. Both these English ladies, 31 years of age. Here's the Malaysian flag and the Malaysian manager, Major Azizan.
Come on, Ames. You're trying, Ames. Come on, Ames, hurry. To the bow.
Little deflection could do the trick here for England. It's pretty close.
She would have loved to have picked that jack up from the wick. It came in there, got a little wick off the orange bowl of Malaysia, but they're going to go for a measure in the very first end. Here it is, just coming in there now. Got a little touch on the first one. Could have gone out a little bit further than they were hoping it would, and then they might have had a couple of shots instead of the possibility of being one down, which is the case.
Yes, confirmation that it's 1 to Malaysia at the conclusion of the first end.
Beautiful night for lawn bowls, and as we've seen straight away, we've seen it so much in these Commonwealth games that the team that wins the end often gives the mat away, and Malaysia have done that, giving them the last bowl of the end.
Come on, Els, right up. Right up, Els. Next time, it's on its way. Look.
Zuraini, Khalid right on the money once again. You can have a look at that line. Absolute perfect line. Just a half a yard over in weight. And that was a better bowl from Ellen Faulkner. She was up to the head. Just ran on a little bit. Got a little bit of correction of the grass to do.
Oh, it's a beautiful bowl there from Zuraini, Khalid. Almost perfect, just past the jack.
Come in. Yeah, wait, that's good. Well done.
So England being challenged here. There's that great bowl from Zuraini, Khalid. And her third delivery is on its way here. And again, it looks a good line. If the pace is right, it's very close. And that's terrific bowls again. 3 near identical deliveries. And her skip will be very proud of her there.
Yeah, magnificent bowling. You can throw a tissue over those. And it makes it hard with the 2 bowls, one at the back and one to the side but behind the jack, to be able to get really at that head. You've either got to try and clear some out initially, and I'm just wondering whether Amy Monkhouse is going to do that. No, she's going to try and draw the shot. She's going to try and sit on that Malaysian bowl, the front one, but she's overcooked it. But maybe she's putting one at the back if she does have a crack at it.
A little bank of Malaysian supporters just next to our commentary position. I think they threatened to get quite voluble.
Oh, this is just sensational bowling. Now there's 4 shots at the moment, but at some stage you would think you've either got to try and bust those up or try and draw the shot on the backhand and get the jack to move to the left as you look at it as we watch the replay. But she's coming the forehand again.
Come on here, Ames. Come on, Ames.
And that's just holding its line.
Red hard. Right, Ames.
You still think that's at least 3. No, maybe just 2. But our camera can give a little bit of a distorted angle at times.
Yep.
It's going to be just under the line, a little underweight as well.
And rolled the right way. There's the target. 1, 2, 3. You would think possible measure for 4.
Fancy it, whatever you fancy.
Now this is a big bowl to start this first set of the gold medal match in the women's pairs for Amy Monkhouse.
Slipping away. What about the pace? Will it pull up? No, it won't. This is going to be expensive for England. Malaysia winning the first end. England, unless nor Hashimah, Ismail make here. England are going to find themselves probably a minimum of 4-0 down after 2 ends. There's a chance she could draw another.
And you're seeing Zuraini, Khalid just going on foot where the jack sits and where she wants the bowl, giving her side in there.
There it is.
And she does it nearly every...
That's got to really motor that. That was never getting there. So how many? What's the damage? And it is 3. 3 to Malaysia. And as we suspected, that's 4-0 after 2 ends. Very bright start for the orange.
They've just outdrawn England. Take a little while to get into this match, Simon. They only finished, as you mentioned, an hour and a quarter ago, so they haven't had long to have a turnaround. The Malaysians finished their match in pretty quick time, so they've had a little bit of extra, and they've only played that one game to get into the grand final, where this is England's 3rd.
Despite winning that last end, Malaysia have handed the mat to England, and Ellen Faulkner opted for a short jack to then delivered a pretty short bowl as well.
Mary Price, the England manager. And they're at it again.
Just going to be outside the Malaysian bowl there for Ellen Faulkner. This young girl Zuraini Khalid has really found line and length very early in this match. It's just sublime bowling at the moment from Khalid.
This is just sensational bowling.
All the way. Come on. Down.
Oh, well done, Ellen
like
Faulkner.
this. Brilliant reply from the young lady, Ellen Faulkner.
Took a little jump, that bowl, in the early part of its passage, but again it's right there. It might nudge Ellen's all.
This is just this precision of Malaysia at the moment, Simon. They just are at the target. And this is a beaut bowl. That might just give her a little bit of confidence. There of Amy Monkhouse applauding that one.
You almost say though that Mike, it's almost impossible for Khalid to continue to play like this. She's got to lose this touch, and it may be a case of England in these early ends just weathering the storm.
Yeah, right on the money. And this one's got to get around. She can get a little ridge again, but she can knock that out. She can get to just slip through the gap.
Ismail, the skip for Malaysia. Malaysia very strongly represented in the bowls here. Singles to be completed yet. They have Safwan Saeed in the men's, and the twice gold medalist Ahmad in the women's. A great effort there.
Well, all of a sudden England have replied, that's great bowling. We thought England were under pressure. Now Malaysia, for the first time this end, they're under a bit of pressure.
She could just take Ellen Faulkner's bowl. The jack is sprung, and it looks as though Malaysia might have taken a shot there. They certainly think so. That picture would tend to endorse that impression.
Of Malaysian bowlers, most of those youngsters competed in the Commonwealth Games. Yeah, what a magnificent bowl. She was under an awful amount of pressure. Amy had put two bowls there. Well, in actual fact, Ellen and Amy together had covered the jack, and then Ismail comes up with a shot like that.
This has got plenty of pace, but she might just get onto the Malaysian bowl there.
Ellen Faulkner getting into the game. Now you would think that red bowl just to the right of the jack would be shot bowl at the moment. The bowl was turned out. He's got a little bit of a difficult choice to make here, whether she actually or whether she plays on orange bowls and tries to promote one of her own. Simon's just been molested by one of the many millions of varieties of bugs here. We are on rink 1 on green 1, and this is bug heaven.
Just been attacked.
We've got a citronella stick burning, and I think it's just attracted the flies, and mosquitoes and insects. Gold medal women's pairs. She's trying to promote something, and it's just held its line again.
Well, she's promoted England there. 2 for the Reds, and so England get off the mark. That didn't go Malaysia's way. She only promoted congested the red bowl there, the English red bowl. So 2 to England, and that's 4-2. Very congested head in that third end.
It's excellent bowling from the ladies, Simon. They are just really nailing their drawing, and a couple of on-shots that we've seen by Ismail were right on the money, and you saw on both those occasions her bowl started to straighten right at the end and just held its line. She was able to crash in, but on that occasion she's given one away. This is the young lead, Zuraini Khalid. She's human after all, Simon.
Yeah, she hasn't bowled many bad ones so far.
Come on, Els. Well bowled. Come on. Start, Els. What's up?
Alan Faulkner does. Just run through though.
Yeah, just slipped through, but not a bad bowl.
Come on. Down a shade. Down. Yeah, well bowled, Els. Well done.
Alan Faulkner getting on the money as well.
And that's the nearest so far. Number of the Malaysian team bowlers in the crowd, along with English women's player Sandy Hazel, who won the bronze medal in the triples last night.
She's been deserted by her teammates, Jamie Lee Winch and Sean. Here's the bowl, just coming in there from Zuraini Khalid, holding shot. It's nice to see Sandy here supporting her teammates. The others might be along shortly.
Wow, they're young, they're probably gone out. Out for the night. I was just chatting to Sandy, and they have really enjoyed the whole experience here in New Delhi. It's a very let's say it's a very interesting experience. All sorts of little contradictions, but I think most people who come here will always.
There will be a chapter or two in the memoirs, that's for sure.
There is Sandy, surrounded by Malaysian supporters, but here to support the two English girls.
She can wave if Sandy wanted to get into it.
Well, I may have to go over and help her out. She can stand up, I'll sit down.
There will be some tension in the commentary position as this match goes on, I'm sure. Gold medal game. Not a bad from Noor, Hashimah, Ismail.
Just get a deflection somewhere, maybe knock out that Malaysian for England.
Yeah, it's pretty close to shot bowl. But with the drawing prowess of Ismail and Monkhouse, there it is, just coming through, getting a little off the Malaysian bowl and rolled the right way. And you can see Khalid there is already put a foot out just to give a skipper some extra direction. I don't necessarily know whether it's required every shot though. Momentarily distracted. That seems heavy. I think that's, unless it takes it, it's going to go close to being in the ditch. It's just stopped short. Don't know whether we can actually call that. I just think that's just call. Amy Monkhouse now has got a bowl to be able to take all the guesswork out of it. And now, Faulkner is doing the same as Zuraini Khalid, putting her foot there. Gives her a side up.
It's a bit narrow. Needs to find a way. Was never going to find that passage. 1 to England.
Well, in actual fact, Faulkner is saying, and it is.
2 to England, and so the scores are tied.
After getting away to a flyer, Malaysia, with 1 in the first, 3 in the second to lead 4-0, England have hit back very well with a pair of 2s. Get the feeling that young Faulkner is a fierce competitor.
Well, I think that can be taken as read. Just looking at their route to this final, these teams, and Malaysia certainly had the easier semi-final, winning 11-4, 9-3 against Wales, whereas England had to fight tooth and nail to beat Australia. A half first set, and then they won the second set 8-7. So England had a match against Australia a little early on.
It was a high quality game. Well, no, it's run on a little bit. That's a good bowl. And you just don't know how much the mental drain would have been in that match, but if anything's going to lift you, it's going to be playing in a gold medal game, and they won't need any motivation here tonight. All very tight.
Yes, the Commonwealth Games is a very important event in the world of lawn bowls, as we've said before. There's no representation in the Olympics, no tournament in the Olympics. Was there a world champion? But this is one of the really important sports at the Commonwealth Games. For the sport itself, that's a great touch.
Yeah, she would have preferred just to sit on the jack, but that'll do. And all of a sudden a little bit of pressure started to be exerted to Malaysia. It's not just a draw-a-thon as it was early. England probably hold a couple at the moment. And in a good position with the skips to play to try and advance their cause, but the head is wide open.
These countries often amongst the medals in the women's section, with saying early, Seti Zalina Ahmad winning the last 2 golds in the women's singles. A number of medals in the pairs in the past, a bronze for Amy Gaushaw and Lynn Whitehead in 2002. A few bronzes in the 80s and early 90s as well in the women's pairs. Just ducking in. Great to be able to hear the players calling the shot for their skips and vice versa, the skips for their leads. Just struggling to get it up to the jack at the moment, these guys. Yeah, the tension's really starting to show, Simon, even though it's only 4 ends old. Now just clearing away. We've got to get a few beetles on the rink at this time of night, and they're hard enough through the back to cause a little jump in the bowl. Also get a bit of a headache as well. It's trying to hold its line. It's a good bowl there. But England still look to be holding the shot.
Just draw it there, mate. If you do pull it, it's okay.
So a chance here for Amy Monkhouse. Can she make it 2?
Stop now.
Come in.
Stop now.
Just rolled on. It falls. It could well be enough. And it is 2 to England in the 5th end. And England take the lead. And it's now 6-4. Well, Malaysia looked fairly terrifying in the first two ends, but England have managed to come back, winning the last three.
Yeah, it's been a good comeback. Malaysia got away to that 4-0 start, and England really have put the pressure on now. They really are applying a stern test here. That gentleman there is actually the Vice President of the Commonwealth Games Federation, and I do hope that I can get this right. Tan Shri Imran Tofor, the Vice President of the Commonwealth Games Federation. It's lovely to have him here. Obviously, may very well be Malay. He's sitting here with all the crews. And I noticed it was really interesting before, when he walked in, all the Malay stood up and let him to go and sit down. I think it was absolutely fantastic. Great to see, and we welcome him along. It's the gold medal match between England and Malaysia in the women's pairs, and we are seeing a very, very good game of lawn bowls here, Simon.
And well done with the gentleman's name there, Mike. It was achievement.
Was I anywhere near it? And we thank the players there for being able to give us that information. But very important person in the scheme of things for the Commonwealth Games. They've had their difficulties here in New Delhi, but besides all that, I think they've turned in a very, very good games, and we're not done with yet. We've had two competitions finished, the men's triples and the ladies triples yesterday, so gold, silver and bronze presented last night, and tonight there will be another medal presentation, men's pairs and women's pairs, and these girls once again are right at the head. I think that might have been the crowd cheer for the women's bowl, do you think? Or is that coming from the main stadium?
Yes, we've got the main athletics stadium within a few hundred yards from this bowls complex. Both the men's triples and the women's triples won by South Africa, beating Australia, and England taking the bronze in both.
Come on then. Come on.
Alan Faulkner's
Come on.
third bowl.
That's good. Bye-bye.
Well, that's a little bit fortuitous. That for a moment, where that red bowl has sprung out, England now can play on to those two red bowls, and the jack will spring, you would have thought. The catches are the red bowl on the left and the orange bowl on the right. And I think Malaysia have seen that danger straight away and have called for one at the back. If you have a look at Khalid at the other end, when we get there, she's standing in a position where she wants the bowl delivered. She's still standing there. This is where she wanted it, but she's got into that head. Well, it's only just disturbed it, but you could see that the jack, with a little bit of weight, is going to release.
Yeah, such is the weight differential between the bowl and the jack. It doesn't take an awful lot to move the jack. That time there were two bowls in front of the delivered bowl.
Now it really becomes a little bit of a game of snooker, being able to hit the bowl that you want in the right spot in the front. Now Amy Monkhouse, I think, needing to put one at the back, where that one was supposed to be from Malaysia. That's a very good bowl.
So if the jack is sprung, whichever direction it goes in, England appear to be reasonably well covered now.
Malaysia trying to respond to that bowl of Amy Monkhouse. Yeah, great. Great bowling.
Sorry, mate.
At some stage, a bowler's going to play with weight here,
Yeah, mate, you love. You go all the way
and
through.
in all
You love
likelihood
three
that
yards,
jack is going to spring towards those back bowls.
Yeah. Come on, mate. Yeah.
A little bit of weight.
You're close.
Comes. What's going to happen? Where does the jack go?
Well played, eh?
It goes towards the Malaysian orange bowl there. Luck of the draw.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was always going to go either between the orange bowl and the red bowl on the left-hand side as we look at it now. But that's why the players were trying to put a bowl where that was. Now, you know, it's all hypothetical, obviously. If Amy Monkhouse was a little bit more on her weight, it would have been where that Malay bowl was. But at this stage, and there was still room to get in there.
Come on, mate.
And that runs through. It looks like one to Malaysia. And Amy Monkhouse walking up towards the head. Have a chat here with Faulkner.
Yeah, well, that was a design play too, where Ismail has gone with a little bit of weight. Because if Amy Monkhouse wants to have a run at that now, she is in awful strife at the back. Malaysia have got two bowls sitting at the back. She's either got to try and come on the backhand and promote her own bowl, or and I don't think she can, you know, she draws it into the Malaysian bowl if she comes to forehand and tries to come through that gap. So, and then if she tries to pick it up, there's those catches at the back waiting for it. And I don't think she can get at that orange bowl, which is holding shot, unless it's through the gate. And she's got to pick it up clean.
Come on, Ames.
She's got to get through here now and pick up the orange bowl clean. Brilliant bowl.
That was perfect from Amy Monkhouse.
Shot of the tournament. A small gap to get through. The shot was there. If she could take the orange clean, otherwise she was in danger of giving two away. Spot on the money, 3 shots. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you just could see how little margin for error there was. There is a measure going on. Not quite sure yet the total. That really was a terrific bowl from Amy Monkhouse there.
Well done, mate. Brilliant. Great.
Gets a well done Faulkner. And it's 3 to England. And at this stage, they're drawing clear.
She loves a chat. It's been a very, very good comeback from England. Malaysia won the first 2 ends, 1, and then they got a 3 to go to 4-0. Since that, it's been all England, and it's been multiple scores. 2, 2, 2, and 3 to lead 9-4, and well played. That was one of the shots of the Commonwealth Games so far, getting through that gap, and a narrow gap it was, and took the bowl absolutely cleanly.
Quite so metronomical as she was in the early part of the set.
Come on. Come on, Els.
It just saw that one straighten up again. There was a little ridge in that green that every now and then straightens the bowl. And we've seen it go to the right of your television screen as well.
she's just gone off the ball a bit.
You picked it perfectly. You just can't keep playing that well. Those first two ends, she put 6 bowls within 4 inches of the jack. Since then, it's been slim pickings.
This is excellent from Ellen Faulkner.
And the turnaround was Ellen Faulkner getting a toucher. Since Zuraini, Khalid knows that she's got a game on her hands because both these combinations, the leads and the skips, had their own little private battle within the course of the match. And at the moment, Ellen Faulkner's winning the battle of the leads.
Couldn't get it up to the jack there, Khalid. Not much point in Ellen being short here.
Well played. She has that one that you can see at about the 1 o'clock mark, short and well short. The 3 Malay bowls are short. Here it is. That was the first one. The third one, I should say, her final bowl. There are the English lasses.
Ismail just leading away as if it was always going under the line.
And she does get a little animated herself. I'm under extreme pressure here.
Beautiful still evening here in New Delhi tonight. Almost the nicest evening of the Commonwealth Games so far. Temperature's comfortable.
And are simply breathtaking on most occasions. Gold medal match. These girls have had a very, very tough of sectional play. Malaysia finished on top of their section. England had to battle through. They finished second to Malaysia in section B. It's holding its line, but it's just going to get a wick, just going through. Not a bad attempt.
So England and Malaysia met during the sectional play, and in that match it was 1-1 and Malaysia won on the tiebreak.
England's still holding 1. Now each skip has a bowl to play.
Quite a few average deliveries here. 3, 4, 5, 6 bowls short of the jack, and none of them really ever look like getting up to it. Studious, deliberate approach.
Well, that's way wide. That's way wide. And I think even out of her hand, the extra push that she got out of her hand, you knew there was a fractional weight involved in that and was never ever on line. And now Amy Monkhouse has a chance here if she can draw another shot to make it 2, and that would make it very, very difficult for Malaysia to even get back into this set.
That's a good line. What about the weight?
Too much, but doesn't matter. They'll grab one.
So England continue to roll here, and now that's double figures. It's 10-4 with 2 ends remaining of the first set.
Our World Cup heroes are back to play on home soil.
New Zealand lead!
Dogged Kiwi tenacity meets the high-energy tempo of South American flair. The ASB International Series, all rights Paraguay. Tonight live, Sky Sport 2.
It's time to redecorate. Right now you can get 8 litres of selected Dulux interior paint for just the 4 litre price. Plus, we'll donate $1 to the SPCA from every pail sold. Dulux Double Up, on now at your local Dulux retail stockist while stocks last.
So, about last Friday night...
What's the goss?
Well...
Spill?
Just some of the girls you're bringing along are kind of becoming a drag.
Like who?
Like, you're boring, Kat.
Oh, boring. So boring. Boring, boring, boring.
Backstab, Kat.
I should have got rid of him ages ago. Man, that's ridiculous.
And fall down, Kat. Do you ever worry about your drinking? Because I do. Kat.
However you do it, tell them to ease up on the drink.
Hey! Oh, hey! Oh, that's a good price.
What's that price?
Mitre 10 nigger. No one beats us on price.
Are we strong enough? Can we make the cut?
The Four Nations starts October 23rd, live, Sky Sport.
All England need to do here is win this end, and they have won the first set.
Malaysia put in again, given the map by England, and they're going for a short end this time.
Yes, they've got to do something, Simon. They've got to try and arrest this. England have won the last 5 ends after Malaysia won the first 2. So going for a short end, they've just got to try and break up the rhythm of these English girls who have really dominated from the 3rd end. Now the mat's got to, or the jack's got to go 23 metres from the mat. So they actually stepped it out there, and there were some little markers a metre apart, and Amy Monkhouse just walked up there and said, yeah, it's certainly got the distance. That's a better bowl, back behind the head.
Faulkner is outplaying Zuraini Khalid at the moment. This is lovely as well. That rests on the jack.
Gosh, she's giving a good foundation for a skip. Exactly what Zuraini Khalid did for her skip in those first two ends. Faulkner's now doing it for Amy Monkhouse. But the reply's coming. There it is. Oh, that's better. And Simon, that's the benefit of having bowls back behind the jack.
Yes, that was a good illustration. But, Ellen Faulkner throws down another good bowl here, and it gets very close.
There's the Malaysian flag. And there's a very lonely Sandy Hazel.
Coming up to 8:30 in the evening here in New Delhi. First set of the gold medal game, the women's pairs.
So Malaysia holding one, an extremely important end for them. If England win this end, it's the first set. It's just going to duck underneath. So Noor, Hashimah, Ismail. I think he's looking at the forehand just to try and promote one of her own. There is a little gap there.
One of England's bowls here. Gave the head a shake.
Yeah, good call.
That's what you're looking at.
Has to be the backhand for Amy Monkhouse. Looking to rest on the jack on her own bowls. Didn't manage it. She could have just run up to the jack. Malaysian bowled away. England could have been lying two.
Well, the difficulty that she's got there, if she has a drive at it, that jack could go anywhere, and I don't think she's going to, seeing it so surrounded there, if you spring it out, you're going to have to knock that orange bowl, the one that's below the jack as you look at it there, and that's a fair carry. It's a good 10-12 ditch, and I don't think that would happen. Is that sort of play whether she'll just try and draw that shot on what she's got after this one. And they're going to try and promote more of the Malaysian bowlers. Now, they might do the job for England anyway. No, they won't. They'll grab another shot. Beautiful bowl. Now she's got a target. The Malaysian crew through the two red bowls. Beautiful bowl from Ismail. Second shot.
So Malaysia in a stronger position in this eighth end. Amy Monkhouse has another chance to turn it around for England.
Over the back.
It's always wide out, wasn't it?
I think that'll be a couple, minimum.
It's 2.
They're going to go for a measure. And Bill Beattie from Blairgowrie called on to television in the women's gold medal pairs match.
He's got a whole bag full of tools there.
So they just cleared away the ones that they didn't think were, or maybe even touching that other bowl. They couldn't clear that one. And
This is a thorough man. He's even got a pad for his knees. This is a man who comes prepared.
He's got his little calculator. And they've got a little hook on the end of them. I don't know whether we can get... Yeah, and just needs to hit the centre of the jack, the centre of the bowl.
Steady hand. That's it. Always protect the knees.
Goes back again. It's interesting that both leads are England.
That's England. So that's going to be 2 to Malaysia there. And Malaysia come back a little, and now that is 10-6 after 8 ends. But England in a very strong position in this first set.
Yes, if England had have won that end and gone to an unassailable 7-shot lead, they wouldn't have played this last end of the set.
So Malaysia needing 4 shots to tie the first set, 5 to win. And the maximum available is 6 shots.
We did see it in the singles match we had a little bit earlier, where there was a 4 scored on the last end to tie the set.
And Faulkner's opening bowl looks very good indeed.
Yeah, good response from Khalid as well. Jack high.
Well bowled again.
Yeah, that's magnificent. She's been a bit of a star so far. There's Mary Price, the England manager. Here it is. Fairly nonplussed.
So Ellen Faulkner's final goal this end, and this set indeed. And that's very impressive indeed. Three bowls all in a cluster there.
Both those bowls for Zuraini Khalid looked as though they were going to hold their line, but at the last moment they just ducked away. But it's a pretty tight head with the 3 England bowls holding the 3 shots, and the skips now, and that's going to that bowl Jack Hyde, the orange bowl from Malaysia, is the one that's going to really trouble them to be able to get the 4 shots they need to be able to tie this set.
Yes, they've got a little bit of potential, those 2 orange bowls beyond the jack. Monkhouse just a little bit wide there, but the general standard is extremely high at the moment.
Yeah, that was on purpose too. She wanted to get amongst those 2 Malaysian bowls at the back. She just needed to try and restrict some scoring opportunities. Now you watch this one. This will hold its line. Much better than Khalid's bowl. Now maybe they're a little bit heavier, the bowls, and they just tend to go a little bit straighter as the pace comes off. Here it is, and it just held its line there, where Khalid's 2 position have just turned off and run between the 2 English bowls.
Little bit of deliberation here. Amy Monkhouse anxious to do the right thing, not to throw away this potential set-winning lead here.
Yeah, let's go. Come on,
Okay.
let's get it.
Ismail. And if Malaysia can't get 4 shots, there's only one last chance. Ismail will have 1 more bowl left.
But she's going up to the head to have a look. Malaysia back bowls. They've got the 1 jack high, which is on the left of your screen now. You can just see the yellow jack just in front of those 2 red bowls on the right. They've got the next best. Then they've got 1 surrounded by 3 England bowls and the 2 at the back. I just can't see how they can get 4 shots from here. Now, Amy Monkhouse has played 2 back into that position to cover those. She would have liked one of those to have been a little bit further up.
Just trying to cover every eventuality here. It's
I think
a big shout for Malaysia to get these shots in this position.
Yeah, I think where the girls have got their feet now, just into that area there, jack.
That would have taken so long in just an ordinary game.
Oh, this is one.
Wide out on the backhand, going round the here.
Yeah, she's a little bit of trying to probably draw for that respot mark. You just saw it drop out the of your screen, just in case Ismail has a crack at just trying to spread it everywhere. The glory bolt, the Hail Mary if you like.
So if the jack goes out of bounds on that last shot away to the left, then that Monkhouse bowl will probably be the shot winner when the jack is re-spotted.
And on the other end, there is 2 Malaysian bowls. if it goes to the right, but I can't see the jack going to the right from here. No, she's going to try and just get to the head with a little bit of pace, and it's going to miss the lot.
And so that's going to be the first set to England here in New Delhi. It's just a matter of the numbers. And we'll check our marker. And she's going to throw up 2 red lollipops. And so that's an impressive win for England. 2 shots in the final end. And that makes it 12-6. And we're into set number 2.
A commanding performance by England in that first set. Malaysia got away to a very, very good start with a 1 and a 3 to lead 4-0. And then it was all England. A 2 in the third, a 2 in the fourth, a 2 in the fifth, a 3 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, finished off with 2 in the ninth. A comprehensive first set win to 12-6. After Malaysia really did play extremely well in those first 2 ends. And this grand final, the gold medal game in the women's pairs, is still very much alive.
I think some very solid play by both England girls. And Malaysia became a little becalmed after a bright start. That on.
Faulkner really has been in the majority of the first set. And starting here, well, the form player of this combination outside of that one magnificent bowl by Amy Monkhouse, she's also bowled very well, but the big one that grabbed the 3 shots.
Let's just nudge the jack away. Good ball there from Khalid.
Come on, Els. Come on, Els. Come on. Come on. Well, ball.
Squeeze through. It drops. And that is probably shot.
Yeah, that shot, no doubt about that. Some beautiful bowling by the Leeds once again. Here it is, urged on. Amy, we need you to get out of the way just for a moment. Perfect.
Promotes the England bowl there. That did England a favour.
That's close for 2. She's a teacher, Amy Monkhouse. Bronze at the Commonwealth Games debut in Manchester in 2002 in the pairs.
From Grimsby, in the east of England.
Played, Amy. Well played. Well done, girl. Very good.
Very good indeed.
They're starting to stack up. Starting to work now, the big orange bowl. Can it get inside? It can, but England will hold two.
Yeah, there were a few oohs and ahs from the Malaysian contingent there. That looked good all the way, but the result was not what they wanted. And that jack quite difficult to get at now.
Well, I don't think they're worrying about the jack. If Amy Monkhouse can get rid of one or two of these bowls, and she's got one more, she wants to get rid of that orange bowl. It's got to travel. Oh, it just rolled the wrong way for her. She wanted it to stay in that gap, but that makes it now very, very difficult for Hashimah Ismail to get inside that and do some damage to that head unless she comes to backhand side. Now she's got that bowl. She might try and squeeze in between her two orange bowls on the right of the jack into that head to be able to promote it back to her.
England certainly holding 2 or 3 here. Ismail on the backhand.
And a little bit of weight.
And it's going down the low side. So Amy Monkhouse approaching the head. What do we think, Mike? It looks like 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. I think that orange bowl in the middle of the screen to the bottom now may be in the mix.
2
definite
or 3.
2.
We might employ
Possibly
the target
a 3.
here. We're going to the target here.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think 3, and they may even have a measure for the 4th.
And Amy Monkhouse has a chance of adding to that. Oh, it's good to see that Sandy's got a little bit of company.
The England supporters have doubled.
Sandy Hazel, bronze medalist last night. Be a little bit cautious in this sort of situation, and we've seen players not a cut at it when there's more to lose, really.
Yeah, there was a chance there that if she had been a little bit more narrow, she could have come in there, but she also could have turned it over. So they're going to go for a measure now. I don't think Zuraini Khalid's got a measurer. I don't think she's got a tape measure.
We need with his bag of tricks and his knee mat.
Well, that's a shot.
3 shots? Yeah.
Was that 3, do you think? It's 3. That's an excellent start to the second set for the English girls. Having also won the first set.
It's going to be very interesting here now, Simon, how the Malays react to the pressure that's been applied. They got away to that very good lead in the first set up the first 2 ends, and then they were comprehensively outplayed to go down 12-6. And all of a sudden, England have grabbed 3 to open this match. Now, they've tried the short end. Now I think you'll find that they're going to try a much longer end.
Yes, they've got the mat right back, as far back as it's allowed to be placed. And Ismail standing right up on the tee here. Didn't quite go the maximum distance. It's centred.
Yes, well, it's only about 700 centimetres from being the full distance. And there is a big hard shell grub just going across. In actual fact, I think Khalid's bolt basically where it was a cricket. He went over the top of it.
First ball then, Els.
Ah, yes, that's what one of our production team an alien.
Come on, Ellen.
But it's a nasty little beast. It's one of the most venomous insects in the world.
Time.
And it's like a hypodermic needle as a front. And it actually, when it bites you, it debilitates the muscles around where the bite is and can even get into the bloodstream and create some serious problems. And apparently it's one of the most painful bites that you can get from any insect. So don't pick those up and take them home to show the kids.
I'll give it a cuddle.
Come on, Els. Good. Well
That's a
ball,
good
Ellen.
ball.
Well ball.
She is bold.
Got it, Els. What's that? 18 inches. Come on, Els.
Nice little
Well, there certainly is some insects invading the green now. Calling home. And a lot of the Malay supporters having a look at this gold medal match. Of course, they're very used to Siti Selena with her magnificent form. I haven't actually seen her in the Malay group tonight. I haven't checked the board.
yes, we've got the matches coming up over the next couple of days. Good bowl from Ismail, picks up the jack, knocks it into the England bowl, but it rebounds for Malaysia.
Yes, Siti Selena Ahmed is in singles and she will win that in straight sets. Playing Scotland tonight. So Amy Monkhouse now will go. And just try to take that Malaysian bowl out.
Come on, Ames, hurry! Hurry, Ames! Hurry, Ames!
Faulkner asking for more as past.
But that's a good spot to be there. Carried on a little bit, but it was not on.
Amy Monkhouse could just take that Malaysian bowl next to the jack. England could lie two. She's too narrow though here.
Yeah, she's not happy with that one. That's kind of disappeared. And Ismail struggled a little bit and she needs some of the England supporters at the other end. This is the young England player who's playing in the singles.
Jod. This looks a good line from Ismail. Little turn as it slows. Monkhouse will need to take a good deal more ground here than she did with that last bowl.
She's taken too much.
She's taken ground all right, and it's very pacey. A couple of loose ones there from Amy, and looks like one from Malaysia, and indeed it is. So that's 3-1 in this second set. You've got to be looking under your description of the alien, Mike. I'm not going to sleep a wink tonight. Look under the bed and behind the armchair. Not the most attractive of critters, are they? Ooh.
That might just the rot from Malaysia. England won 7 of the last 8 ends, and Malaysia really needed to get on the board. They're still down by 2 in this set, but that might give them a little bit of confidence. They've turned the mat over or given the mat away to England.
Start here, Ellen. Come on. What about those?
Zuraini, Khalid is just doing a little bit of housekeeping, sweeping away 1 or 2 of the beetles,
yeah, well,
etc.
that's smart. That's very clever, because those beetles or the bigger bugs can really derail your bowl. And we saw last night in the women's match they didn't do that, and on a couple of occasions it cost them dearly. So it's very wise. It only takes you a minute or 2. There's no time limit on the final. As in sectional play, there's a 3-hour time limit, but not here in the finals. You can take as much time as you like.
Come on then, run.
And Faulkner bowling well here to identical deliveries. Is Khalid, a very promising player, not just a pretty face.
She's just gone off the ball though, hasn't she? Since probably the first 2 or 3 ends, she really skipped a lot to play with. The skips, Ismail has been under pressure the whole time.
Come on. Come with this.
And this young lady just keeps piling the pressure on. Although all 3 of those bowls are short of the jack.
Yes, Malaysia have 1 round the back. That's the only one.
And there again was a perfect opportunity for Khalid to be up to the head. Part of Faulkner there. She's just having a real trouble of finding the right weight and finding the right line.
So this is the changeover. It's the turn of the skips, 3 bowls. Amy Monkhouse first up.
This lady's not having any...
Right back, Ames, right back. Well played,
Oh,
Amy.
very good indeed.
She's been rather superb.
Decent 2 from Ismail. Just run through. Well, we're seeing plenty of red.
Now, see where we're having a look at the, that's the Amy Monkhouse bowl. Now, if we go back to that shot as the bowls away, Ellen Faulkner was standing in there between those two orange bowls, wanting one there. But Amy Monkhouse, I think, was probably aiming for there initially, but she's going in there, so England holding 4, you'd probably think.
But the Malaysian skip still has 2 to bowl. This could all change. It's a fairly big target. She is. Will it do enough? It gets pretty close, not quite close enough to take the shot, but probably second.
Yeah, well, she's taken 3, possible 3.
This is a good response.
It'll be interesting to see what Amy Monkhouse can come up with. She'd love to be able to remove that orange bowl. However, there are those 2 bowls at the your screen there that could pose a problem as well. So I think that she will try and put one around the back, either in between those 2 orange bowls or in between the jack and the first orange bowl. Trying to rest one in there just in case Ismail does go for a little bit of weight and try and force the jack out of there. She's trying to get in there. That's probably a little bit further back than she wanted, but it's thereabouts.
Well called there, Mike.
Now either Ismail can play with a little bit of weight, trying to force it back to those 2 orange bowls, or she can try and turn her own bowl over onto that red bowl, kick it out of the way and lay close to the jack. She's playing with a little bit of on weight, but I think she's offline.
Deflection of sorts. That's going to be shot to England. And it's 1 more to the... And that is 4-1 after the 3rd end. England winning the first set.
Very, very big bowl, or 2 big bowls there from Ismail, because if England had got 4 there to take it to 7-1, gold medal, they'd have a hand, 1 hand on the gold medal. But that was well rescued, 3 shots, not much to make up.
But you'd have to say if Malaysia can't win an end or 2 in the next 2, if they lost the next one, that would be establishing quite a good lead for the English team.
Yep. Just a little bit too much pace this time, but she was right on line again. Probably needs to take just a half off. Well, Khalid's done that. but still short.
And Faulkner's second bowl of this fourth end. And it's a good one. Just a few inches from the jack.
Great correction.
There's the weight. The line looks good. Just pick up the jack.
Mary Price pretty happy about that. Give us a smile, Mary.
Maybe later.
Too much bowls to be played. A very good bowl there again from Ellen Faulkner.
Serious business chasing gold medals.
Just slipped through.
A little unfortunate there.
Walking back, eyes down, just contemplating on the shot she wants to play.
Maintaining concentration, so important in this game, and there's just something that could have, in fact, she had to shoo away at one of the many insects here. We've had multiple bowlers, one flew in the eye. Sandy Hazel last night, she got one in the eye, didn't she?
He didn't roll over for it.
Thread the needle between those two Red England bowls. Well, it sneaked through. A couple of deflections off the pair of them.
I couldn't believe how that bowl held its line. For all money, it looked as though it was going to cut across the face, and it just held its line. Here it is, just a wick off that front England bowl, and the second one-shot bowl.
Amy Monkhouse now, with her attempt to draw. Needs to hold up. Knock on, not quite enough.
Well, she's got the last bowl. She can roll her own bowl to knock that out.
Meanwhile, Ismail returns to the mat. Far away, what's going to happen here? Oh,
she was lucky there. She nearly turned that over for England. Watch this. Bang.
Now, isn't there a chance here for Amy Monkhouse to get into those two Malaysian bowls? If she could draw to those two bowls with just a little bit, could end up with two. If she played with a little bit more weight, it's absolute fine judgment, but there's just an opportunity here. And here it comes. Break, turn, it might pick up the jack. Oh, how did it get through there?
Well, that's interesting because that's turned the England bowl out now, and that'll be two. Here it is, just turns that England bowl out. All of a sudden, Malaysia in the match.
4-3. When it comes down just the odd little glance, little wick, that's when you just need a little bit of luck to go your way.
And specifically for Malaysia, they've been outplayed up until this stage. Just two little wicks there, and all of a sudden they've got shot bowl, all of a sudden they've got two. But well played by Ismail. She had to be up, she had to put it into position.
And Faulkner holding her nerve with her first bowl, putting right up to the jack. Khalid trying to reply and does so with a really splendid delivery. Knocks Faulkner away.
All of a sudden she's starting to get a bit more confident. This is just bowling from the leads.
Well, it's beginning to really count now, approaching the halfway stage in the second set.
A little bit heavier, but she won't mind that. That's a replay of previous bowl. Faulkner, beautiful.
Her third bowl coming towards the jack. It's just fading under the line this time.
Yeah, it took a bit of a severe dip there to her right, as that was in traffic. About 8 feet before those bowls. And for the first time in this outdoor commentary position is exposed, we're getting a few serious biteys. They haven't been biting, they've just been flying around. I saw you jump a moment ago and I've been severely, but I'll tell you what, maybe we've been bitten by the brilliance of these bowls.
Here's the change. Target. Difficult one to call there. Might just be England.
Yeah, just by a nose. Still working, it's still working. Now Malaysia, if they can't draw the shot, they've got to provide some cover in those three. Not on this occasion. You will get last throw of the dice. I'd love to be able to trail the jack by about 6 inches, 7 inches and sit on it. No, it's going to be a bit narrow. Well, that's left the door ajar. So she just went to those three England bowls. But now there's the foot. This is where Khalid wants Ismail to put it. Pace. Picked it up brilliantly.
Right between the two English bowls there.
And that's what we were saying about Amy. Previous delivery, she had to get it in there, or a bowl in that head with the jack to be able to stop that scenario, because the target was just too big, and Ismail that bowl to perfection.
Last bowl for England this end. Shot down, bit of pace here from Amy Monkhouse. Will it turn in? Needs to turn.
Well, Ismail can either try around the back, or she can try and go through the gap there, the orange bowl and the red bowl. That may be a little bit. Or there might be a gap on the forehand side, which then if she did to the jack, she'd drag it only back to her bowl. She couldn't turn England bowls. And even if she crashes into these bowls from the backhand side, the England bowls won't go back towards the jack, you wouldn't think. She's trying to get through that gap.
Oh, she's nudged on that England bowl. She looks a little bit anxious. It was a bit risky, but got away with it. Malaysia get one shot.
Here it is. Well, I didn't think she could promote an England bowl to shot, and she nearly did it. That only needed probably another half a roll, and it might have been in a measure for shot.
Malaysia here. The end of five ends. They were 4-1 down.
The fourth playing of the Fries.com Open moves to San Martin, California. Last year, Troy Madison held off a pair of young guns in Rick Amy Lovemark to claim his second PGA Tour victory.
Fries.com Open, Friday, Sky Sport 1.
Get into bow repairs for massive 25th birthday sales savings. $100 off a huge range of tires, and we won't be beaten on price. Get your catalog and get in now.
Keep it to yourself, okay?
New season. Could be time for a new code. No one's got more sports gear than Rebel Sport.
My name's George, and I'm a werewolf. You and him? I don't have to shave my palms?
Who wants tea?
You're a ghost!
New Super Being Human premieres soon. Prime.
Faulkner with the jack. Tension just out here, with Malaysia fighting back.
England were coasting. They led 4-1 and had a chance for a 3 on that end, but didn't happen. Malaysia have won the last 2 wins with a 2 and a 1. like how the England girls talk to their bowls.
Good line. Oh, just took a little deviation there.
Well, we'd love to see that one again because we've been talking about this ridge all the time, Simon.
Faulkner's bowl is on the way.
There is.
Yeah, well done, Ellen. Well done.
Faulkner played quite quickly there. Quite excited of Khalid's, and why not?
There is just a little touch. Now it hasn't moved that far back that it's alongside that other orange bowl, so Amy could turn that out with some confidence.
These two sides just beginning to trade blows here. Just winced slightly as she released that bowl. Took too much of everything.
Very tense battle, this gold medal game. The loser, of course, will go home with the silver. Now she's trying to get inside those and draw the shot, the jack over to her own bowls.
The Malaysian skip beginning to play very well indeed. Nor Hashimah Ismail. Amy Monkhouse, this teacher from Grimsby.
Just took that deviation again. It was on track.
Ismail at her fourth Commonwealth game. This is under the line. She hated it. Malaysia hold one.
This is a big bowl for Amy Monkhouse.
Members of the British squad, John Bell on the right, Graham Shadwell, member of the triples team in the centre there. He played very well. Turning it towards the jack.
Come on, Amy. Down, down.
It's not far away, but it wandered a little at the end there. It almost seemed to do a little swerve.
Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, it was just wobbling. So they hold one.
Yeah, Malaysia set to take the lead in this second set here. arrow again from Ismail.
She doesn't want to promote that up into the head. What's that done? Nothing. So they'll take the all-important lead, and it's been a very good comeback for Malaysia, winning 4 of the 6 ends contested so far in this set, and they now look at that last one. It just crashes in there. Could have done a little bit of damage if that had been hit a little bit harder. They'll take the one, and they now lead 5-4.
Yes, Malaysia on a roll here. They've won the last 3 ends. As Mike said, they've won 4 of the last 6, 4 of the 6 in this second set. So a spirited fight back here by the Malays. They were 4-1 down after 3 ends in this set.
Now I think a little bit of the pressure has gone back to Ellen Faulkner. Malaysia have won 3 ends on the trot.
Very good indeed. Good reply from Ellen Faulkner.
Tambah 2 awak tak apa, lebih sikit nanti. Apa? Ada mana tu lo? Ada, bye-bye ni.
It's great bowling.
Yeah, by both girls. Ellen Faulkner was short with the first, not with the second. She needs to be up here with the third as well.
Line. Come on, Ellen. Come on, Ellen.
Could she take the jack? Picks up the jack.
Brilliant bowling by Ellen Faulkner and Zuraini Khalid. Just fantastic. Fair target.
Khalid's last ball this end. That could take England. No, the jack is also promoted on.
You probably think that might be one. It's not that far away from the ditch either. Here it is, just crashing into that first England bowl. Now, probably only inside a metre from the back, from the ditch.
Monkhouse. Is he going to get there?
And both these ladies will draw this shot. Hashimah, Ismail.
A bit of pace on it.
Yeah, a bit too much.
It's gone.
Well, neither of these ladies, Amy Monkhouse or Ismail, would mind if they've got enough pace on it to be able to go with the jack into the ditch, as long as the bowl sits right next to the jack. Makes it very difficult then.
Hurry, Ames! Hurry! Hurry!
This is pretty
It's
good.
not far away. It's very good.
Okay.
That's a wonderful bowl from Amy Monkhouse.
Ismail has still got 2 bowls.
It's on its way. Rather obscure for us. It's trying hard.
Oh, brilliant bowl. Brilliant bowl from Ismail. What a reply. The Malay contingent.
But who's got the shot? Is that Mike?
I think so.
Do you
Very
think
close.
it is? 1 bowl each remaining. 7th end of the second set. Amy Monkhouse with pace here, trying to take out that Malaysian bowl.
Oh, lucky. Sorry, mate.
Well, Ismail can try and play onto her own bowl, or come inside and take the Red England bowl out. It's a little bit unlucky there. What she was aiming for, just to hit her own bowl, trying to get the wick and knock the Malaysian bowl out.
If she
She might
takes,
have also run the risk of knocking her own bowl out as well.
if she takes out the England bowl, Malaysia could easily 2 or more. It went very quiet there as Ismail released her bowl. It's got some pace on it. Well, it's ended up okay for Malaysia. It was a slightly risky play.
They're having a great time, and why wouldn't they? Their team is in front. They need to win this set, Malaysia. Here it is again, coming in. She wanted to take the red bowl out cleanly. Got a little wick on both bowls and just rolled it over. Hers went into the ditch. That'll they get a shot.
2 ends remaining in their second set. If Malaysia win this set, that'll be played over 3 ends. Cumulative scores to count. If the scores are tied at the end of 3 ends, they go on.
Run, Els, run! Run, Els!
A crucial in this penultimate. Malaysia get 1 or 2 here, it'll make it very difficult for England. Malaysia have won the last 4 ends.
It'll run through the station. Been out there for a couple of hours.
Yeah, that's going away a little bit. In depth bowls, they seem to not so much straighten but hold their line when they get into that section of the ring.
Yes, well bowled. Well done, Alan Faulkner.
And she's promoted that orange bowl up a roll or two. England hold one, you would think.
So the skips returning. Pretty good. Hashimah will be looking to break up those two bowls, break up the England party. She's done it. Good bowl.
Brilliant bowl. Now Amy Monkhouse has got to come back. She's either got to kick that Malaysian bowl out or rest on the jack.
Come on, Ames.
Or rest on those two bowls. That would be the shot.
Needs to turn.
And she's only going to have one more bowl.
England have got a couple out the back.
And I don't think we've seen, well, Amy Monkhouse a couple of times has gone with a little bit of pace, but nothing spectacular. It's a difficult on shot because she's got to get the pace right. If she's got too much pace, the bowl will stay straight. So she's got to probably bowl, if she's going to try this shot, just half pace, three-quarter pace, but no, she's going to try.
Come on, Ames. Hold, Ames. Hold.
Just going down the line
Try, mate.
on the underside. Maybe a deflection though.
We'll talk about don't give up on it. Now, Ellen Faulkner went very, very quiet, very, very quickly because I think she's rolled that over. I think England hold shot.
What about this for a slice of luck? And almost as an apology, Amy Monkhouse has rolled Hashimah Ismail's bowl to the mat.
Well, that's what this game's all about. You know, just that stroke of luck can get you across the line. Gee, this is a big bowl.
It's on its way. England holding the shot. Oh, she has. Well, a couple of amazing bowls at the end there, both helped by
Neither of those bowls look like getting anywhere near the head. Just using their own bowls to, in Ellen's and Amy's case, just to roll the bowl over and get it up to the head and got shot. Front bowl by Ismail and got shot. So they now lead by 3. and this is going to be very, very difficult to stave off a tie break. They need a 3 in this last end, England, to draw the set. That would be good enough. Malay, on the other hand, if they can restrict England to just a shot or two, will force the tie break, and they're playing well enough to do it.
Yeah, short price.
Well, what an absorbing gold medal match we've had here so far at the JN Sports Complex. 2 days of competition remaining after this, culminating on Thursday, or on Wednesday I should say, with the gold medal in the singles for both men and women. Sectional play in the singles to continue tomorrow. Yeah, she's really lifted the game, Khalid. She went through a bit of a slump first set, towards the end of the first set. She's bounced back.
Come on. Come on.
It's difficult to single out any player. They're all playing pretty well. That's what's making it such a good game now.
And in the bronze medal game in the women's between Wales and Australia, Wales have won that in 4-1 in the tie break, 7-4, 3-8, 4-1. Well done to Wales.
That's a great ball from Khalid. High fives amongst the two Malay girls. Cheers from the gallery here. Voluble support coming for the Malaysians.
Well, 3 very important bowls here for Amy Monkhouse. Faulkner has left 2 just short.
Could it take it?
Well, that's the thing she didn't want to do. She wanted to be on the other side of that to kick it over to and bowl just there, but she's whipped it back into the Malaysian bowl.
I think she should have been more aggressive there to try and take out the Malaysian bowl.
I don't think at that stage she was just trying to draw onto that Malaysian bowl and knock it out of the way. Now she had 2 of her own bowls, those 2 red front bowls there, so she was just trying to take that Malaysian bowl out. Just sit on the jack.
So on the back. She can probably only see half the jack.
She's gone with a bit of extra weight this time.
All about the line here.
And you haven't heard too many screams and hollows from Faulkner. Oh, beautiful bowl again. However,
there, isn't there? She could just trail that jack, couldn't she?
Yeah, and Ellen, well, I don't think she will trail it. No, she's only got one back. She's only got one bowl to play. Yes, there's a gap there. She's got those 2 England bowls there. She can't go with weight. She can't go with weight or too much weight. She can't knock it back to back. Malaysia have one bowl in between the England red bowl, that bowl just to the right of Ellen Faulkner there. Her best bet, the 2 bowls just in front of Ellen Faulkner, either side of her feet there. She's got to somehow get those 2 orange bowls, you can see right in the gap, jack, and bring them back and sit them with those 2 red bowls. That she could, without Ismail's last bowl. It's a tough ask, this.
Just lining it up. So it's not too bad. She could take this. Oh, that was a great try. And have England taken the shot?
Yeah, and I don't even know whether Malaysia will play their last bowl. They know that they've got the set. Yeah. So we've got a tie break in the women's gold medal match.
And it was just the one for England. So 7-5, Malaysia win the second set, and we go into the 3-end tie break. Malaysia away from England there, 4-1 down at one stage. Malaysia won the 4th, 5th, 6th and 8th ends. England just let it slip a little. And Malaysia came back into both girls.
Now England won that last end, however they for the extra end when they go into the tie break, and I'm assuming here have won the toss and they've sent England in. Three-end tie break, and it's cumulative shots. And that's not a good. She'll be disappointed with that. Good correction with the weight, and the line is perfect. Just going through, another chance now for Ellen Faulkner to get one thereabouts at the jack.
It's wide open, she's urging it on. Amy likewise. Bit of a dribbler.
Yeah, both leads a little bit guilty here of not getting up to the jack. This first end tensions have really started to build.
A very loose end at the moment.
Well, maybe it is the skip's turn. Sandy Hayes.
Natalie Melmore.
And I think that's
Jamie Lee.
Jamie Lee Winch.
From Amy Monkhouse so far in this end.
There it is, yes, draws the shot. But the way this lady has played the last 5 or 6 ends, the jack's not safe. See how these bowlers just hold their line. It just ducked in at the end, but they really do hold.
That was never going to get there.
Here for Amy Monkhouse.
It's all got a little bit tentative. Can she get it up to the jack? She can get past the lead bowl there. It's not far away. It's running through.
She would have loved to have picked up the jack and brought it back to there.
Would have been 3 probably if she'd done that. She could have just picked the jack up here between the 2 other Red England bowls. Ismail still has 2 to bowl. Monkhouse.
It's going to stay out there this time. That's the time that she did want it to break.
There's the possibility of a biggish win here for England. Those 3 red bowls. Just a little shunt forward of the jack. Ismail still has one left after this from Amy Monkhouse.
If not, some cover. Pick it up well and good.
It doesn't look bad. It gets past that lead bowl. Up the jack. Oh, she just missed it.
It's probably only
could have made an enormous difference, notwithstanding the fact that the Malay skipper's still got 1 to come.
Here it is. Have a look how close this is. She may have just squirted that off to the left of the television screen, to her right. But now this young lady has been drawing beautifully all night.
A bit timid in this end though.
It's exposed. Big bowl.
She's struggled to get it up to the jack this end.
First end of the tie break.
It gets past the England bowl, it gets a... Now it'll be 1 to England. And that's 1-0. There's the confirmation from our marker. After the first end, of the tie-break preparations being made. Medal ceremonies tonight. If only she'd picked up that jack.
Yeah, that would have been a nice 4, but it might have changed Ismail's shot as well. And this is the tension. This is gold medal on the line here. Play, we think. You'd love a multiple count now. So England with the slight advantage of having Malaysia go first.
Yes, they've given here. Khalid bowled down the jack. She's short.
Ellen Faulkner changed her line. She's had to go to the backhand. It's travelling well.
Good bowl from Eldick. Brilliant bowl.
Pretty fair effort.
That jack will be completely hidden.
I think what you'll try and do with the next is get one of her shot or her shot into that England bowl to try and spring the jack. It's not what a skipper wanted. That'll do.
Khalid's bowl on its way. Bit underpowered.
Ellen Faulkner wants this one around the back.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, beautiful bowl. This is a gripping grand final between England and set all 1-0 to England in the tie break, the first end.
Just look as though if the jack is sprung, it will probably head more in the direction of the Malaysian bowl.
And she's overcooked it.
Well, not sure what was going on there. That's one right out the back, but
well, I think what that'll do now is force Amy Monkhouse to put one back. She would be in two minds as whether that was just a bowl that's got away or that's a deliberate ploy. So they've got almost the two best backwoods, Malaysia. And she's just going to try and or even go a little bit deeper. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, a bit of jockeying for position going on here.
Now Ismail will try and to the head.
A bit of weight on
Going to
this.
hit that front bowl, I think. That's travelled on as well.
Ismail's only got one bowl left.
Here Ellen Faulkner is standing. That's giving her an indication where she thinks that Amy Monkhouse should play this second.
Hurry, Ames. Hurry. Hurry.
Faulkner wants
He needs to get by the head. It's only just. Not really where she wanted it, but England are holding 2 at the moment. So this is a crucial bowl for Noru, Hashimah, Ismail. And you can see that she wants to play in on those 2 England bowls there and try and spring the jack back to her 2 or 3 orange bowls. Big bowl.
Painful to watch for the 2 England girls, Faulkner and Monkhouse, but Amy's still got 1 to come. Red bowl out the back there behind Ismail. She releases the bowl, aiming to disrupt.
She's not too far away.
Not far. And springs the jack, but it could be shot.
Well, it might be a couple.
It might be 2.
It might even be a measure for 3.
It was a good try that from Ismail.
There it is, and it just sprung the jack. You were quite right in saying that the only way that the jack could go was straight back. She needed an extra couple of rolls.
She just didn't have enough weight on it.
And Amy Monkhouse now can try and draw one in there.
This could be the turning point.
Hurry, Ames. Hurry, Ames. Hurry. Hurry, mate. Right up.
Will it roll?
Come on, Ames. Well played,
Has it done
Amy.
enough? Oh, it has. Now the all-important decision.
Umpire, please.
The umpire, I think they've conceded at 3.
Yeah.
They've declared 3. And the competitive streak in Ellen Faulkner says we should have a look at this other one. This is a big end for England.
If it stays 3, it'll be 4-0 with 1 end to play. Or could it be 5-0?
Well, 5-0 would be the death knell for Malaysia. That's a lady from Australia, from St James in northwest Victoria, regional area. Finally, they have had some massive rain and the drought has broken. They've been in drought for such a long time. I tell you what, I think it's 4.
It's another one for England.
They will have another measure.
That line didn't reach. Nice and roll. That is 4.
And that is a huge end for England.
The marker just checking, double checking.
It's a long way back now for Malaysia.
And that's 4 red lollipops. And after 2 ends of the tiebreaker, England lead 5. So Malaysia need 5 to halve it or a maximum to win.
Sandy Hazel has gone for the camera. Bronze medalist herself. But it's not over until we have all these bowls played, because it is still possible. It's going to be absolutely imperative that Khalid is past the jack. That's a start, but not necessarily the start they wanted. Mary Price.
This is travelling on a long way past.
Yeah, that won't be any damage, but it's not that bad. You'd rather be there than that length short than this end. And Khalid just can't get up there. It's close though. And I think they nearly resigned to the fact Malaysia, that the gold medal is going to be theirs. It's going to be silver. There's a bit of tension in that elbow as well. But it's there, nearly. I should be disappointed with that. Now there's two bowls.
England on the brink of gold medal glory here.
Beautiful bowl from Ellen Faulkner. Her skipper asked her for one just past the jack. She's done that superbly. 3 bowls to play for Malaysia.
See, effectively with nothing much behind the jack, Malaysia have just got to keep drawing now, haven't they? They've got to try and draw the 5. Those two at the head, they don't want the jack to move to progress any further down the rink.
Absolutely not. Well, that's very, very clever. It just must be a moth or something flew. Was about to release that, and that took a lot of nerves to be able to stop bowling that at that particular time.
Bit unsettling.
Here is the most vital end Malaysia has played, and they've left 3 short of the head. I wouldn't be surprised if Amy Monkhouse here plays with a little bit of an on-shot and tries to pick up the jack and bury it at the back. She won't mind if it goes out of play and gets respotted, or just put one in there.
If she can move the jack, if she can progress the jack further up the ring, it's all over. More of a draw shot.
Just trying to get around those Malaysian bowls. It's looking pretty good. It's looking brilliant bowl by the skipper.
A great one from Amy Monkhouse.
They got 4 fingers on the gold medal.
Ismail has 2 left to bowl. Just with a little on it.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Just on that last one, just draw the shot again.
They're so widely spread, those Malaysian bowls. It's difficult to see that all of them could count.
Right.
So this is it. Noor, Hashimah, Ismail with the last bowl for Malaysia. How can she make 5 shots out of this situation? It looks impossible. Played with some weight, could pick up the jack into the bowl.
But that will be it.
They shake hands, and it'll be the gold medal for England. Ellen Faulkner and Amy Monkhouse. They've travelled all the way out, and they'll return to London with gold. Having won the tie-break, just get the confirmation. 2 shots to Malaysia at one tie-break, but England win the tie-break 5-2, and there are two happy bowlers.
Yeah, just absolutely 2 shots in the end. 2 shots to Malaysia. 5-2 that tie break, and England thoroughly deserved their victory, Simon. 12-6, 5-7, 5-2 in the tie break, and not only the players ecstatic with their victory, as other players run, there's Mary Price, the others run into them. You're a pretty happy chappy as well.
Well, the was changing fortunes, because it was a pretty steady early set, early part of the first set for England after a bright start from Malaysia. Malaysia had that a great start in the first 2 ends with Zuraini, Khalid looking very strong indeed, and early on Malaysia doing well, but England fought back with both Monkhouse and Alan Faulkner. Here's Amy Monkhouse. And England recovered after that strong start from Malaysia. They won ends and ended up winning the first set in pretty handsome fashion. That was a 3-shotter there for England. This was another good bowl from Amy Monkhouse, but a little bit to pick up the jack there, and that was 2 to Malaysia. This was Amy again in a very tight head. And that was a very disputable shot. It all got very tight indeed. Some very high quality play at different stages of the match. In the second set, England began well, then Malaysia fought right back to eventually win the set 7-5. It was a 4-shotter early on in the tie break, and that proved absolutely crucial. That was the second end of the tie break, and England going on to win 5-2 in the tie break and collect the gold.
A very, very clinical performance in that first set, and I think one of the big turning points there was the fact that they'd got a 2 on the third end, 2 on the fourth end, fifth end, and Monkhouse drew just an amazing shot on that sixth end to grab that 3, and that set up that first set. To Malaysia's credit, they really did dig deep in that set. England got out immediately, got 3 shots in the first end. Then Malaysia hit back, they got 1, England got 1 in the next end, the third end. It could have been a possible 3 there, and that would have been, I think. But then from the 4th end to the 8th end, Malaysia 1-1-1-1, and they wrapped up that second set 7-5. The tie break was never in doubt. That big 4 on the second end of the tie break, beautiful play. Malaysia were guilty of leaving the jack short of the head, and they were never ever going to be in that. Ellen just drew them. So Simon, congratulations, and to you, gold medal to England.
England will go away from New Delhi with at least 1 gold. Ellen Faulkner and Amy Monkhouse pull it off here in New Delhi.
One of the wonderful sights of India here in New Delhi. Good morning everyone, and welcome along to the